So today this is going to be the look that I'm filming for you. It's very glowy and radiant and dewy, and I just love this look. I love healthy looking radiant skin, and this is how I achieve it. So if you want to learn, keep on watching. To start off today, I'm going to be taking the Smashbox primer water. It looks like this. I have the travel size right now because I ran out of my big one, and I love the little travel size ones because I don't have that much room in my makeup drawers anymore, so I like just throwing them in my purse. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray my whole face with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the Glow Starter by Glam Glow. I love this moisturizer. This is honestly like one of my holy grail moisturizers. I do not know if I could do my makeup without this stuff. The Glam Glow moisturizer, I use the Nude Glow one. I know they have two different ones, but I really like the Nude Glow one. It just brings like a luminosity to your skin, and you can see it through the makeup, which is really cool. I know it's really expensive, but it's so worth the money. I want to say this is like $49 at Sephora. So nice. I don't know why, but lately my face has been breaking out, and my face like never breaks out. Like, what is this? Guys, I'm going to go in with the Coconut Skin Priming Smoothie by First Aid Beauty. It is a moisturizer as well, but I love the combination of the Glam Glow Glow Starter and this primer together. It just makes the skin look so healthy, and I love that. Do you see, like, when I turn my face, how my skin is like glowing? It's from those two mixed together. Moving on, what I'm gonna go do next is I'm going to put a little bit of primer on. So I'm gonna be going in with the L'Oreal Magic Lumi, and I'm going to be mixing this, and I'm also going to be mixing the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. The beginning steps before the makeup is really, really important. That's where you're going to get like that glow, like that intense glow from. Alright, so now that our skin is primed and feeling good, I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. And I'm going to be taking that L'Oreal Lumi, this one, and I'm going to be mixing it in with that foundation to give it even more of a glow. I like to make a little foundation cocktail. Now I know this foundation is like super dark for my skin, but it's gonna match my like body in a minute. I self-tanned my body the other night, and yeah. Why is there a zit? When I self-tan, typically I don't self-tan my face, which is why my face is so much paler than my body. I had a really bad experience with the self-tanner. I put it on one night, and when I woke up in the morning, my whole face was broke out in hives. It was so not good at all. I like woke up and Mikey was like, "Oh God, what happened to your face?" I was like, "Jesus, I didn't know I was that ugly." And then I went and looked in the morning. I went and looked in the mirror, and I was like, "Oh my God." And my face was so broken out in hives. The whole left side of my face looked like I just got stung by a bee. So I try to avoid face tanners. Yeah, so what I like to do after I apply my foundation with a brush is I will go over top of it with a damp beauty blender, and this is just going to give my skin a little bit more hydration, and it's also going to take up any product that I have left over on my face. Now that the foundation's on, I'm going to be taking, guess what concealer I'm using? Do you know? It's the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. It looks like this. It's the best concealer hands down ever in the entire universe. It literally works so good. I'm going to put it underneath my eyes. My mirror is like over here, that's why I'm looking that way. A little on my chin, a little bit on my nose, and I used to bring my concealer up a lot higher than this, but my forehead really isn't that big, so I don't want to like to make it look like it's big, if that makes sense. So yeah. And I'm just gonna go in with a damp beauty blender and blend that all out. So I'm going to be taking the Hoola Quickie contour stick. It looks like this. And I'm just going to be lining my cheeks, underneath of my cheeks with this. A little bit down the bridge of my nose. I don't know why I contour my nose. I typically don't. I don't really have any issues with my nose. But I don't know. This is just like an extra step to do because it's so extra anyways. Alright, so now I'm going to be taking the Cover FX Cream Contour Palette, and mine's in the shade Medium. And I'm going to be taking this light color right here. And this is a technique called strobing. So what you do is if you put a cream highlight down first and then put the highlight on top of it, it just intensifies your highlight. And because we're doing like super glowy skin, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna do like a little exclamation point on my nose. Bring that down. And then I'm gonna put a little bit on my chin. This also makes your glow like last longer. I'm gonna put, you see where the light hits my bone right here? I'm gonna take a little bit of that cream color and I'm gonna put that on the tips of my cheekbone. I'm gonna take a tiny bit more and I'm gonna put a little, do you see where the light's hitting it right there? I'm gonna put a little bit underneath where I put that contour. You see how I've concentrated the color on the outside? If your forehead's a little bit bigger and you want to make it look a little bit smaller, if you put the bronzer just in the temples, what it's going to do is it's going to create a shadow at your hairline and it's going to bring your forehead down. Also, if you have a bigger forehead, you don't want to accentuate with the concealer right here because it's going to bring light right there. And if your forehead's a little bit bigger and you don't want it to appear bigger, don't highlight it up there. Now I'm going to be taking some of my NYX HD definition powder, finishing powder, whatever it's called, and I'm going to set my under eyes so that it does not crease. Alright, now that I've set my face, I'm going to go do my eyebrows off camera and then I'll be right back. Hey guys, so I just went in and filled my eyebrows in, because that just takes forever. If you want to know how I fill in my eyebrows, I'm going to link that video down below in the description box so you can go check that out, but it just takes forever, so I just figured we would just leave that off camera. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some of my Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula, and I'm just going to go over top of that cream contour with the powder. And I always use my Kat Von D Shade and Light brush for this. I just feel like it works really well. So I'm just going to go over top of that cream contour. Just kind of set it all in there. I'm going to take a blush. Today I'm going to be using, let's see, I think I'm going to use, I'm going to go in with the Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop palette, and I'm going to go in with Rose Spritz, which is this color right here. Do you see how pigmented that blush is? It's like intense. Even if I just tap it, then I tap it off, and it's really pigmented. I'm gonna take my Morphe M441 brush and I'm gonna put this color in my crease. I love doing this because it's so easy and it just gives your face a little bit more depth to it and a little bit more color. Using the color that you contoured with is nice too. because it's already sitting right in front of you. You don't have to go dig through a bunch of eyeshadows. All right, next I'm going to just go ahead and put a little bit of L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara on my bottom lashes. And while that's drying, I will go in and highlight. I'm going to be taking, yay, the Nicole Guerrero and Anastasia palette. This is so freaking beautiful. Look at the colors in it. It's so freaking pretty. The highlights in here are blinding. I mean, like, out here. So I'm going to be taking my Morphe M501 brush. This is the brush that I always use for highlighting, and I'm going to be taking some of my NYX First Base Prime, and I'm just going to spray my brush with that. And then I'm going to be taking some of Benefit's Dandelion Twinkle. It's their new highlighter, and I'm going to swirl my brush in there. And I'm going to really focus this highlight on the outer parts of my face. I mean, this highlight is still pretty intense, but it's not as intense as the Nicole Guerrero ones. It's not glittery at all, and you can't, I love this highlight because it doesn't emphasize texture at all, which I do sometimes have a little bit of texture on my face, and this one doesn't emphasize it. I feel like I break my neck when I'm doing my highlighter. So I'm gonna take this pink shade right here, and it's called Kitty Cat, and I'm gonna put that at the higher point of my highlight. So I'm going to focus the color more on the outside. Whew! That highlight is beaming. Now that that highlight's on, I'm going to be taking this shade that's a little bit more pearlescent. It's got like a pearly kind of champagne color to it. It's called Forever Young, and I'm going to mix that with Forever Lit. So I'm going to mix these two together. And this shade is like beaming. Like when you put this on your face, like I do very little because it's like intense. Just gonna, oh girl. Holy. Like, do you see this? Do you see that? Oh. I hope I don't get pulled over. Am I blinding officer? This Forever Young shade, and I'm just gonna put a tiny bit on my chin and a tiny bit on my nose. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that same Real Techniques brush, and I'm gonna mix that Forever Young shade and the Forever Lit shade, and I'm gonna put it underneath my eyebrow. I'm gonna be taking a little bit of the Kylie lip liner in Candy K, and I'm gonna be outlining my lips with it. After I put that lip liner on, I'm just going to go in with Bite Beauty's Amuse Bouche lipstick in the shade Pepper. What I'm going to do is I am going to take this NYX First Base Primer Spray, and I'm going to spray my collarbones with it. And I'm going to take that same highlighting shade that we used at first, and I'm going to take some of the shade Forever Young right here, and I'm going to mix Forever Young and Glow Getter, and I'm going to push my shoulders up like this and highlight my collarbones. So I know this sounds like silly, but when you're in public and the light hits you, do you see like the difference between like this shoulder and like this shoulder now? Like this shoulder just is like popping and this one's like not. So I'm gonna do the same thing, kind of bend my thing and just put some highlighter right there. So pretty much just drench your whole body in highlighter and you'll be fine. Yep. And the last step that I'm gonna do is I'm going to take the Milani Make It Last setting spray, this one right here. I'm gonna spray my whole face. And just kind of push it off for a minute, and not when it's all the way dry, but not when it's still really wet. I'm gonna take a little bit more of that Glow Getter shade right here that I just put on my face, on my neck, and I'm going to put it on my cheeks. This is like really intensifying that color. Okay guys, so this is the final look. I am glowing everywhere. I feel like I have highlighter all over my body, which I'm living for. I love it. But yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed this makeup tutorial, and I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Bye.